The following is a production of Medfield TV.
Yunque National Forest, located in Rio Grande, a town in the northeastern part of the Caribbean island of Puerto Rico, is the only tropical rainforest in the United States. It is one of the smallest national forests, covering only 28,000 acres, yet is one of the most biologically diverse. Most of the rainforest is made up of the Luquillo Mountains, which reach their highest point at 3,533 feet above sea level. High on Yunque Peak, the forest is wrapped in clouds. Heavy rains in Yunque create rushing streams and waterfalls. Hikers stop to cool off in the pools beneath these waterfalls. Every time I visit Yunque, I take La Mina Trail to La Mina Falls. It is one of the most popular hikes there, taking you to a 35-foot waterfall with a very cold pool of water at the bottom. The ground is rocky and slippery because of the frequent rain, but the trek down to the falls is worth it. Puerto Rico is warm year-round, but hurricanes and earthquakes are common. In a tropical rainforest, there is no spring, summer, fall, or winter. There's more rain and also more sunshine in tropical rainforests than anywhere else, allowing plants to grow all year round, unlike those in forests with temperate climates. At higher elevations, as much as 200 inches of rain can fall in 1 year. Rainfall is usually greater in winter months, when the weather is cooler. In general, Yunque does tend to be cooler than the rest of Puerto Rico because of low-passing clouds and evaporating water from the nearby ocean. More plants of various types grow in tropical rainforests than any other place on Earth. A tropical rainforest is really 4 layers of plants stacked one on top of another. Each layer is like a neighborhood. Each has its own animals and plants that are best suited to the amount of sunlight the neighborhood receives. From the top down, the layers of a rainforest are called the emergent layer, the canopy, the understory, and the forest floor. The bottom layer, the forest floor, is covered with a layer of dead leaves and twigs called leaf litter. Because there's no winter, most trees and plants don't lose their leaves all at once. They drop them year-round, which turns the forest floor into plant and animal food. The forest floor has a sponge effect that soaks up rain, preventing flooding below, as well as providing a fresh water supply for the coast. Above the forest floor are the plants that make up the understory layer. They are able to grow under taller plants that block the light. Even without much sun, their leaves can grow very large. The part of the forest above the understory is called the canopy. A canopy is made up of high, overlapping branches of trees. There's more sun up there, and it's much more crowded with plants and animals. Rainforest canopy trees grow almost twice as tall as that of the average tree in temperate zones. Walking into Yunque National Forest Visitor Center, you are above the canopy of the rainforest. This is also called the emergent layer, where the tallest trees emerge above the rest. Everything balances out in Yunque. The rain makes the canopy grow thick and green. Leaves fall from the canopy and fertilize the forest floor. When a tree falls in the rainforest, light streams into the gap in the canopy, and young trees race to reach the sunlight. In a few years, the winter's branches spread out and fill the gap. The rainforests of the world are incredibly old. Left alone, it is likely that they could go on forever, but it is unlikely that they will go on undisturbed. Since the 1500s, humans have had a tremendous impact on the environment in Puerto Rico. Soon after the first Europeans arrived, they began cutting down trees. The rate at which Europeans destroyed the rainforest increased over the centuries. In the 1700s, they cleared hundreds of thousands of trees and much of the rainforest to make way for plantations. In the mid-1900s, worldwide demand for sugarcane from Puerto Rico dropped, and many planters abandoned their fields. Trees and other rainforest plants began to grow again. The trees and other plants that replaced the original forest are called secondary growth. One of the greatest environmental challenges faced by Puerto Rico is how to preserve the island's remaining forests using secondary growth. The government is limiting access to some of the rainforest so it can thrive in its natural state without human influence. If loggers cut down trees, rainwater runs down the mountainsides, which erodes the soil and carries waste into the rivers and streams below. Without trees, all the animals and plants that live on them, in them, and around them would have nowhere to live anymore and would die. Take away the trees and plants, and all the roots that held the soil together disappeared. Without them, the thin layer of good soil quickly gets washed away. The dirt left behind in the rainforest gets hard. The sun makes it harder until nothing can grow in it except a few grasses and weeds. Once it is gone, a natural rainforest can never come back. The region's average temperatures have been increasing over the last 4 decades, and scientists predict that this will continue at an accelerated rate. Additionally, heavy rainfall events are predicted to increase because of higher sea surface temperatures. This will cause further flooding and soil erosion. Rainforests are extremely important to the world climate and the health of our environment. Trees and other plants in the rainforests retain billions of tons of carbon in their tree trunks, stems, and leaves. If the carbon were released into the air in the form of carbon dioxide, the greenhouse effect, global warming, and climate change would be impacted in a significant way. People rely on rainforests for many things, from the water we drink to the furniture we sit in. In fact, a quarter of the drugs prescribed in America contain ingredients that can be traced back to rainforests. In one way or another, people all around the world are connected to rainforests. They cover only a small part of the earth, but they hold more than half of the world's plant and animal species, as well as help regulate global temperature. However, our rainforests are currently in danger. Hurricane Maria first hit Puerto Rico on September 20th, 2017, with 155-mile-per-hour winds. Some places in Puerto Rico received 30 inches of rainfall on just that first day. The electrical grid was completely destroyed, and without electrical power, most people in Puerto Rico do not have access to clean water, which pushes the spread of diseases and sickness. Deaths, health problems, and the difficulties of everyday life after a storm have continued to plague Puerto Rico well past September. As climate change continues to affect humans, we must also look at the way it affects the environment and the world. As the air heats up and sea levels rise, weather also becomes more unpredictable. This means more storms like Maria that will continue to wreak havoc on society and on nature. Mountains and coastal forests, like Yunque and the Loquillo Mountains, help protect people from extreme weather conditions such as hurricanes. When Hurricane Hugo hit Puerto Rico in 1989, the wind force diminished as it had to plow through the trees and mountains in Yunque. If it were not for Yunque rainforest, Hurricane Maria could have caused even more horrific damage. It is vital that we take care of Yunque, as well as all rainforests, not only for the rainforests themselves, but for ourselves, and for the survival of our entire planet.
The preceding was a production of Medfield TV.